Hakari himself, he has a lot of implications to be on par, if not stronger than Yuta. If we're actually to take into consideration what they're actually able to do and throw it on a paper, then Yuta pretty much demolishes Hakari. But if we take away pretty much just Rika, then the argument for Hakari being relative to Yuta makes a lot much more sense. His punching power is stronger. He's physically bigger than Yuta. Yuji is somebody who closely scales to Yuta in terms of speed and durability and other physical stats, and Hakari is still able to hurt him. It still wouldn't work out for Maki's sake because her physical durability is closely related in how Yuji's physical durability works. It's just physical durability instead of reinforcement. The man had speed that can deal with precognition. The man, and that was in his base with no jackpot. The man has speed that can deal with precognition, which is ability that is higher than Yuta, because Yuta just doesn't have the fighting ability. Honestly, like if you look at any of Yuta's fights where he fights hand to hand without any with restrictions on instant kills or just hand to hand fighting, Yuta loses every single time. If you don't, we could not bring up the fight when he fought against Geto because, okay, he was inexperienced, but when he fought Kuraishi, he's not going to use Rika. He's not going to use reversal curse technique. These are two characters fighting against each other. Yeah, Kuraishi used his curse technique. He started using some curse technique against Yuta, but Yuta should still scale way above Kuraishi. I mean, Kuraishi, he's strong, but I don't think Kuraishi in physical stats scale anywhere near fucking Jogo or any of the disaster curses for that matter. And just physical stats, the disaster curses was absolutely busted. In fact, the reason why I would say that he carries a fucking cursed tool. I mean, what cursed spirit carries a goddamn cursed tool? Yuta basically loses to Kuraishi just off some juice getting in his eye, and like that, like precognition would come into handy. Like even Charles' technique would have led him in on, hey, there's going to be some bug juice falling in on your eye in a few seconds. Get out of the way of that. Like Maki, Yuji, they have built-in precognition where they don't even have to, they just get out of the way of that shit. You know what I mean? So Yuta, he's somebody who lacks, and it's not obvious, because if it was, a lot of people would be talking about it a lot more. But yes, Yuta does lack when it comes to physical ability, because why would he be the best physical fighter in Jujutsu Kaisen? Why? He has Rika who can fight for him. He has copy curse techniques with curse tools, with curse speech, like with domain expansion. There's no need really for him to be physically fighting somebody like Hakari or like Maki or like Yuji. This is a disingenuous thing from the community. You guys, like, Hakari was so hyped up and should still be hyped up. I feel like he's still one of the most crazy busted characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. But the fact that he got hit by this door, a lot of people say, oh, his durability is low, he doesn't have any durability, You guys really think that people in Naruto are pistol level? Do y'all think that if you ran up to Naruto and shot him, do you think that would work on him? Yes or no? The only reason why I'm asking this is because people in Naruto, especially in the early stages, were saying that, oh, well, they're human, so people are getting killed by kunai. Like, if you're able to kill somebody with a knife, then come on, bro. Any character that's fictional, that's literally faster than light, or fucking so strong they can lift 2 cars in the air, if that nigga threw a rock at you and you died, would you say, damn, bro, I was rock level? Like, no, bro. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's the level of opponent, not the fucking weapon that he's using. Especially when you consider in Jujutsu Kaisen, you can reinforce the object that you're using to attack someone. So it was really disingenuous to say that, oh, well, Hakari scales to a metal door, or he has no durability. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But anyways, I forgot where I found this extra page from. But from the extra page, and from what I can infer what happened, is that Takaba is getting damaged by Nue's lightning. Takaba himself isn't shown or isn't indicated to be durable. If anything, it's quite the opposite. Yeah, Takaba isn't all that durable, when especially like I said, he doesn't find things funny. About Nue's lightning to begin with, Nue's lightning has never ever in the entire series, I can name the amount of characters that Nue has actually hit people, and this is what I mean by disingenuous arguments when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen. Nue has hit Noritoshi Kamo, Finger Bearers, Sukuna. Nue has hit a lot of different people. Most effect that it has ever done was numb you, like electrify you. Like, the only lightning shown to actually do damage and be amped to that level is Sukuna's curse tool, and obviously Hajime's lightning. Nue is a fucking passive ass ability. Maki did not fight a 15-finger Sukuna. That is another thing that is very disingenuous. Gege clearly states, or Sukuna clearly states, two different types of decreases that's happening to him. His physical control over Megami's body, his curse energy control and output. Those two things are totally different. The physical control over his body, just meaning if there's any delays, is like the connection between him and his body lagging. No, there was no real resistance on the actual physical end. The body wasn't lagging. You know, he had all complete motor functions basically. Curse energy output and control, meaning the actual fucking power of his curse energy. Now, this is what I mean by disingenuous. We see when 15 Finger Sukuna was summoned, we see what he's capable of on a physical level, on top of curse energy control and output level. He punches Yuji across the fucking city. He punches him across the city. So it wouldn't make sense for Sukuna to then get hit with a Jacob's ladder, decreasing his output. We can see that Sukuna couldn't even replicate the same punch. Not only that, but Yuji nowhere near should be as fast as a 15-finger Sukuna. Not Maki, not Yuta. Bro, I don't know what y'all are smoking, but it's gotta be some good ass shit to really think that any other character other than Gojo, who literally intercepted with 15-finger Sukuna, and they stalemated and looked at each other. Like, what implication do you guys think that Maki legitimately went blow for blow with a 15-finger Sukuna? You have to be fucking ridiculous. You're ridiculous, bro. You're honestly ridiculous. That makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. That's why I just, like, dude, Gege needs to come out with a guidebook or something, because this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. How you honestly think. Like I just told you, even Sukuna himself tells you, my physical is fine when he's fighting them. When he's fighting Maki and Yuji, he says my physical is fine. But when I'm hurting them, or when I'm intending to do something, my motherfucking curse technique output and curse energy control drops. Basically, he's just saying that his curse energy is fluctuating, period, when he's fighting them, regardless if it's a physical punch or not. The curse energy isn't actually behind it. Like he says, at its lowest is 10%. That's not a 15-finger Sukuna. If anything, this is probably the weakest version of Sukuna that we have ever gotten. That's not the Bav Sukuna. So that's not the Bav Sukuna. Essentially, all we have, basically, that Sukuna is the same Sukuna that we see at the start of the story. That's like a 3-finger Sukuna, or even less. That's like a 3-finger Sukuna, who, ironically, Megami compared Toji to. So everything still makes sense story-wise. Like, you see what I mean? You see how I'm corroborating and making evidence, and like, you know, wow, this you know, that actually makes sense. And I've been reading Jujutsu Kaisen for a long time, and, you know, been recalculating things, so it actually fucking makes sense to me, that other than just going on Reddit and say, oh well, this guy said this, the mass community is dick riding, so let me just agree with it. No, you have to actually read this shit, bro. That's what's pissing me off. People don't actually read the fucking manga. You're just sitting here and going to Reddit or going to some fucking post where somebody is telling you, well, this character wins, and yeah, no, that who, like, I'm telling you, the guidebook is going to come out and you're gonna be like, dude, everything this guy is just said is literally fucking facts. Hajime was scaled and hyped up to be one of the strongest characters period in Jujutsu Kaisen, probably going to rival Sukuna in any fashion, and this guy was just completely overpowering him when it came to their physical fight towards the end, and had to bail himself out with fucking lightning, which, like I said, is a can't miss attack, which scales to domain expansions because it's just as fast as it, if not faster. But another thing that we have, the last thing I want to talk about is, can Maki actually kill Hakari? And the last thing I want to talk about is the actual point of Hakari's character, and that's why Yuta actually calls him stronger than him, is that if Hakari is actually fighting an opponent that can somewhat withstand him and resist him long enough for him to hit multiple jackpots, well, in lore and just his character powers in general, Hakari gets stronger the longer the fight goes. He hits more probability. Basically, he gets more stats, he gets more amps, just playing gambling basically. He gets all these different stats, amps, making him faster, more durable. And to be honest, Hakari's jackpot is the most confusing thing in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. There's some of the most confusing shit. I don't know some of all the stat boosts and all the things that he get, probability and all this weird shit, but even then people act like, well, if Maki gets Hakari in his domain and he's not in jackpot, well, she can easily stomp him. Well, the guy, like I said, he's fighting Hajime and he's not in jackpot form. But Hajime, like I said, if it was that easy to fucking stomp him, I'm pretty sure Hajime, who scales above Yuta in physical strength and just reinforcement alone, and who's using fucking lightning, would have done it already. Hajime tried to kill him 4 different times and failed every single one. Lets you know how legitimately hard it is to kill Hakari. So it's just really like, oh well, Maki, soul split katana stabs him. Yeah, the basically only thing that we can actually ask from this matchup is if Hakari can heal from the soul split katana. In lore, whatever you want to believe, if Hakari can heal from it or not, I'm pretty sure he would find a way from it, because this is just the lore of him being lucky. I don't know, I really don't like it. It really doesn't bother me to even discuss if he can heal from the soul split katana or not, because it's going to be a lot of headcanon if you say yes, honestly, even though it might go in your favor, because Hakari, for one, is probably the luckiest character in the show, on top of him being on top of his reversal curse technique just being absolutely goated. Like, his reversal curse technique just does not perform like a reversal curse technique. This shit is like a fucking mutant Deadpool X-Men ass shit, you know what I mean? So this also just a lot of headcanon to be like, oh well, yeah, he'd heal from soul split katana. But at the same time, that's why I say I'm not really bothered by it, because there's no real version of Maki I see going blow for blow with Hajime, amping himself to that degree, using fucking electricity that like Maki, like, if anything, Hajime is one of the hardest counters to a Toji or a Maki build. Like they just said, the man doesn't even fucking need a domain to match them. And a domain is one of the worst things you could probably pop against Maki or Toji, because they can just get out of it and not even be in it in the first place. You wouldn't even know if they're in it in the first place. So the fact that this man Hajime can just say, okay, well, here she is right here, and just instantly fire it off, and it's not like she can be like, okay, well, let me just instantly get out of the way of this lightning. No, it's not happening. Yeah, he hard counters Maki, and that lightning isn't something that can just easily be negated. That shit is fucking blasting right through her fucking ass. And like I just said, and that's the main reason is, I do think Hajime's lightning would fucking tear right through Maki. Like I said, that New Ways lightning shit, It's more of a paralyzer. It's not more of an actual attack power feat or more of a destructive technique. You know what I mean? So, that really wraps up my argument, man.